Hey, how's it going, everyone? Welcome back to Sports Day Thursday. About 10 minutes late, but I don't think we put out any. Usually, don't put out anything that says when we're going live, but usually I go live 8:30 Pacific time on Thursdays. But I was kind of watching the end of that Thursday night football game. See if the Browns would finally pull off their first W in 2 years. I think it is almost about around 2 years. So good for them for pulling it out. I don't know if anyone's still a Browns fan or if anyone is a Browns fan who watches this, but uh, congratulations on the win. um, I think you guys are 1-1-1. So uh, congrats on the W. Congrats to Baker Mayfield on his debut. Um, but yeah, now to hats. What up, Leon? How's it going? Uh, I don't have lot planned tonight. Kind of just a quick shoot the shit show. Basically, no set plan like last week where I did like the restoring hats episode. Basically, last week it was not a long one, but basically one topic that we really got in depth on. The funny thing is actually was using one of those methods today with one of these hats I'm about to show you. I have a couple of recent purchases. Yesterday was actually my birthday, so picked up some hats yesterday in store at Hat Club or right down the street. Yeah, Baker looked good. I the Browns GM is the former Chiefs GM, so I thought he would do a good job there. He just kind of struggles with salary cap management, but that's not really an issue right now for the Browns. Um, but yeah, he did a great job. The guy who actually just ended the game was actually a Chief last year and was brought in by the Browns GM when he was a Chiefs GM. So yeah, it's kind of some similar characters over there. Some not I mean I wanted to see them win tonight, but you never really root for anyone in your conference. You always want everyone to do bad around you. Um, but yeah, let's not get into football too much. I'll talk a little bit more about football related hats in this episode because obviously there was some newer releases that just came out. But I just kind of want to touch on. I usually touch on other shows this week before me, at the beginning of my show, before I go into my own stuff. Um, I think start off with JB. Kind of sad that he's going to be going to slow down, but I definitely understand it is a lot of not a lot of like traditional work, but it takes a lot of effort and a lot of organization to be able to put on shows every week and have stuff to talk about every week. It usually takes me about an hour or so to get everything that I need for a short show. For longer shows, it takes longer. Um, but yeah, it takes a lot of concerted effort. He had been going for like 25 straight weeks or something like that. It was something crazy. Like he started and never stopped. He never missed an episode. So it'll be good to. I'm sure it'll be good for him to kind of catch, have some time back. He'll be on every, I think he said once a month or so. Maybe he'll do bi-monthly where he comes on twice a week or twice a month. Um, but who knows? It is sad that he's gonna be scaling back. But like you said, there might be someone who can come on and do a great job doing a Tuesday show. Maybe we can have someone else hop in that time slot per se. I don't know. I don't know how that's gonna work. We'd have to talk about that. But anyway, going on to Joe's show, he talked about the 10 tips to make you a better collector. And there's a lot of really great tips on there, including stuff like um, making connections, like making friends with people, um, and being like, you know, treating everyone nicely, and doing the little things basically. And then kind of keeping track of your hats too was one of the other one. But yeah, I think that was great 10 tips. I don't remember all of them off the top of my head, but I do remember the make friends one because basically making friends through social medias is how I've gotten to do stuff like this. Gotten to have friends at Hat Club and stuff like that. But uh, that's just kind of how um, that related to me. I by You guys know about. I've already talked about how helping, and we talked about giving back to the community last week. Not last week. It might have been last week. It was after his UHC show, but I always say that I help people out with certain hats down here. That's a big thing. Like you said, he'll do the thing where oh, they don't have your size or something like that. Like Sure, that might actually be the case, but if you're someone that is tough to deal with, or someone who isn't fun to deal with, sometimes I'll get the same idea in my head, and I'll just be like, yeah, I'm not your size, man, sorry, which is an easy cop out, but sometimes you don't want to have to deal with people. I know there's certain people who I've picked up hats for in the past who, like, I pick it up front the cash of the hat, and then they don't pay me back for a couple weeks, which is kind of brutal, but um, that's just how I look at it. Someone might feel differently, because when someone picks up a hat for me, I want them to have the cash in their PayPal or whatever before they actually buy the hat. That's kind of how I look at it. Um, I'm not gonna have them buy me a hat unless I have the funds to give it to them now. So that's just kind of a rule I live by, or I go by in the hat collecting world. Um, it's kind of odd when someone doesn't do the same, but I get it sometimes. But like you said, communication's key. Like, give them a heads up. If you can't do it that day and you have to have that hat, hey, I'm sure someone would glad to front it for you for a couple days until you can. It happens. Like, I had a package to ship out, and I'm sending some extra stuff in it, and it's to someone who's not even in Team Fitted or anything like that. But I threw some extra stuff in it, kind of made it a little heavy, and said, hey, you already paid me for the hat. I can't really afford to send it out right now because of the extra expenses of the added weight to ship it. So I'll get it out next time I get paid, which will. He actually messaged me on Twitter. I don't know if I don't think you're watching this, Matt, but it will be going out this weekend. I'll message you back on Twitter if you're not watching this. But anyway, on to the new purchases. I did get a lot because it was my birthday, and I didn't go nuts, but we popped into the Hat Club right down the street, and I bought some stuff. What up, JB? How's it going? Um, Professor, I saw you. How's it going? Thank you, Professor. It's good to have you on. But I also kind of want to show a little snippet of my Nashville collection, because I hopped on that sale, so I have a good amount of Nashville hats all of a sudden. I didn't really realize it until I was getting out the stuff that I was going to show for the show, and I was like, oh crap, I have a lot of Nashville hats, so I might as well show off some of those. Fit of the Night is the now defunct Las Vegas 51s. One of the more classic logos. It's going to be sad to see it go. Hopefully they have some sort of retro throwback nights and still wear stuff like this. Rumor on the street is they're going to be the Aviators. I am going to talk about the triple A team shuffling um, later on in the show, because a lot of AAA teams changed affiliations and changed, as of tonight, changed logos. Or changed designs, I guess. It wasn't really changed the logo. But yeah, Professor. Great. 51s is a great hat. I'm glad I got one. It was kind of one that I've been. The classic stuff you kind of sleep on. The classic stuff's like, it doesn't hop out at you, but it's nice, but it's not like, okay, I need to have that because it's been around and it's so nice. You just kind of go, okay, it'll always be there. And then last year I just kind of grabbed one. Something told me to get one. I ended up getting this one. A buddy picked it up for me and shipped it to me. USA made, obviously, all that good stuff. And now I'm glad I got it. I know they're having clearance hats, but you never know what the quality will be when you order online. I kind of struggle with ordering online these days, but glad to have connections. Like I said, make friends; they'll help you out. It's cool to have that network out there of like, okay, something's going on here. I know this person there. I can hit up that person and say, hey, can you check out these for me? And I'll gladly do it for you. And then vice versa, if that person wants something in your area, you can go get that for them. One of the first things I actually did, getting back on that topic a little bit, was someone was selling one of those Eminem World Tour hats that was a Tigers on field with the Eminem side patch on it. I don't remember if it was. It was like one of the very first posts I made in Team Fitted about 2 years ago, I think, or a year and a half ago. I said, hey, this is in my area on offer up. Not my size, but I know it's a really rare hat, and it's I think it was like $20. It's like, does anyone need this? Is this something someone will want? And sure enough, got a couple bites on it from people. I went and picked it up from the guy in offer-up and shipped it out to the person who wanted it. I think it was, I don't remember his name. I know he's still on Team Fitted. He's still fairly active. Still makes posts. But I don't remember his name. I think it was Jeremy something. He reached out to me and picked it up. So glad I could help him out with that. But like I said, if I always like to lend a hand and help, so uh, that's just something I like to do. But anyway, so getting to the hats now. I'll show off what I got last night, and I'll kind of go in reverse chronological order, if that makes sense. Um, I am actually missing one. I may have to go get that one. But I'll start showing off these first. The first one was actually my first NCAA hat. I'm not a big college collector. Me being in college, it feels kind of weird buying other colleges' hats. My college doesn't have New Era hats because we're so small. But this is right down the street from me, and I've never had anything against them. In fact, back in the day, I did want to go there, but things work out differently. It is an ASU hat from Hat Club. I had actually never seen this one before last night. I don't know where it came from or when it was released, but it is a cream color. I don't know if you guys can tell from the lighting, but it's cream colored with the trident on it. Hat Club's patented tonal flag, and then ASU logo on the back. Um, it was $15, and I thought it was really cool. Fit really well. And then here's another interesting feature of it is this camo underbrim in the chocolate chip is what that camouflage is called, I believe. Chocolate chip colorway. Um, I was sitting here thinking about it today before the show, and I actually think this might be some sort of not dedication, but throwback slash custom geared towards Pat Tillman, maybe. If anyone doesn't know who Pat Tillman is, he played for ASU, then played for the Cardinals, and he was Army Green Beret or Special Forces or something like that, and was killed by friendly fire in Afghanistan. Um, there's a lot of controversy about that itself, and then some of the other things around football today. But um, yeah, I thought this was really cool. If that's truly what it is, it's a really cool tribute. If not, I think it's a pretty cool hat anyway. Um, Fits really solid. $15, couldn't go wrong. Another one picked up last night. This is all from the same run. Scottsdale Scorpions, just pretty clean. Arizona Fall League custom. It's a custom because this isn't on fields. Usually have patches on them from Arizona Fall League, or the older ones are just plain with no flag. And then this one has the green underbill. This is kind of like a nod to the Michael Jordan days. USA made. Another thing is funny is I think most of the hats I got in this recent purchases are actually a quarter, and I'm usually 3/8. I mean, usually. My size has been all over the place lately. Like this one's a 3/8, but those two are a fourth, and they fit me like this one does. So I don't know if it's just a sizing thing. I've talked about this many times before on my show. So we'll see. That's kind of why I'm having problems ordering online right now. I don't really know what size to order, and I don't have the cash flow to order both sizes or two sizes every single time. And then I kind of in the middle. I don't know what the middle of 7 1/4 and 3/8 would be, but that's my size. Anyway, here's a 3/8, one of the only 3/8 I picked up. Mesa Solar Sox. I believe this is supposed to be like I don't want to say an Astros colorway because it is navy blue. They did do an Astros colorway because this is one of the Solar Sox is an Astros, not an affiliate, but that's who the Astros send the players to for Arizona Fall League. But I think this is a custom in navy blue. This is actually their logo is actually this colored, but it's on a navy blue hat. Their hats are usually all black. They don't differ from that. Some of the throwback older hats were different colored hats, but nowadays all their hats are all black, with different colored logos. So yeah, that was my pickups from last night. Let's see, what's chronology? I guess you can just kind of mix it in from there. I actually have to go get one more hat. I probably could show it on next show. Yeah, it's kind of tucked away. I'll just show it on next show. But this is one of them that I just picked up. An older Trenton Thunder. This is the AA affiliate of the Yankees. Old blue tags on that. Funny thing is this is 7 1/2, but because of the way these were sized back in the day, this actually fits me pretty good. I'm a big fan of gray or silver on hats, so this one was kind of when someone reached out to me asking if I wanted it, I was like, yeah, I do. Got a good deal on it. Jerry, I don't think you watched these, but shout out to Jerry Valdez for hooking me up with this one. Really awesome logo. I'm not a Yankees fan. I usually don't buy affiliates of teams I don't like, but this one's really clean, and I can get over the Yankees affiliation for this one, especially for a good deal. There's the Batterman on that. The other hat I got was a Fisher Cats hat, an older one, but I'll show that off next time. And then finally, this is a first for me, and I'm pretty happy about this. I wish I could grab more of these, but I know how limited they were. So my first Dionic hat. Really, really happy with this one. Got the Bee Dripper, I think it's called. Got that throwback symbol for the time clock on there. The famous Dionic Danny logo on the back. Picked this up last week when they dropped. Pretty sweet hat. Again, a 7 1/4, and it fits me like a regular 3/8 used to. These ones actually fit pretty big, in my opinion. I tried on every single 3/8, and not one of them was close to fitting. And I tried on a couple of 4ths, and more of those are close to fitting me than the 3/8. So not sure what's up with sizing lately, but we'll figure it out. I'll still figure out how to buy hats. But yeah, got that black stitching in the bill, really, really clean. Yellow eyelets, yellow button, logo super detailed. Really awesome hat. Really glad I could finally get one of these. I never got on. I wasn't on the early hype train. I followed Danny for a while. I've known about him for a while, but I never could get behind the, you know, wait until this time and make sure I'm there to order. I would forget the time, or I would just, not tune in and not be able to buy it, and they'd all be gone. What up, D-Lock? How's it going? So glad I finally got in on that one. That one was kind of like, not the, it was really good, but I can't say it was one of the best. That was one that kind of fell into my lap, if per se. I really like the Tadpole. I like them all, but I like the Tadpole, and I really like the Ghost one. I don't know what that's called. Forgive me, Danny. The all red one. But there's some solid hats in there. Now on to my Nashville collection, if you can say that. And I'm missing one of these too. This one's. I'll go get the 2 hats I'm missing. I'll be right back. Alright, right back. Thanks for staying here, guys. Not very good production value on that, but here's the Fisher Cats hat I got from Jerry. This is from 2008, 2010. One of my buddies actually pointed out that this looks like it would be an A's affiliate hat. It isn't. They have been a Blue Jays affiliate for, I think, their entire lifespan. Really weird. Now they're kind of more Blue Jay colored. They're navy blue and red. But yeah, this is what their colors, and they really do look like an A's affiliate. But it is a nice hat. It is those blue tags, 7 1/2. So one of the first polyester hats. That's what those tags mean. But anyway, on to the Nashville collection. So one of the very first hats I picked up from Nashville, it actually wasn't from Nashville, it was from someone selling off their own private hats, was this MC hat. This actually came straight from Clink Room. The person who sold it for me bought it straight from Clink Room. And it had the Clink Room sticker on it. I don't remember if you guys remember what those looked like. It looked like a little white sticker, and it was like an explanation of how they came up with that logo. This is actually a 7 1/2, but this one actually will be for sale because I got one my size. This was a little big. So if anyone wants a USA made 7 1/2, hit me up. I know the team's having a sale. I'll sign this one. Sorry about that. My phone just got dark all of a sudden. But here, in chronological order, got this one too. The red Diamond Era, which is really weird. They have 2 different colors of Diamond Era for some reason. I don't know if that was for different years. This one is actually the rare made in USA Diamond Era, which is actually one of my favorite hats to buy. They fit really good, and I do like the Diamond Era fabric, especially if it's made in the USA, which is a pretty rare combo. So yeah, pretty cool. I think this is Brandios is doing this rebrand. And then this one was part of. I think I got this in the same trip. I got the Red Diamond Era, the Nashville Sounds throwback. I don't remember what year this is supposed to depict. I want to say it's something in the '80s. I know Don Mattingly played for them when they wore this stuff or this logo. Um, Really cool and detailed hat, actually. I'm not a fan of white sweatbands, but it is really cool. 1978. Thank you, JB. Um, Thank you for hooking me up with those details. But green under, white sweatband, and this hat just feels really quality made. I don't know. For some reason, this always struck me as just being, for lack of a better term, it's just like thick, if that makes sense. The material's thick, and I don't know, it just feels nice when you wear it. White under. The only problem is something that's been happening a lot with Made in the USA hats lately is, I don't know if you guys can tell, that Batterman uh, is quite crooked. But it will survive. It does bother me a lot. Can't wear it backwards, which I tend to do a fair amount. So I do have to wear this one forward, which is no problem, but it does bother me that hats, you know, you pay a certain amount and they still come with flaws on them. But anyway, here's the one I picked up in the sale, 3/8 my size. It actually is still too big for me. Funny enough, I think my head must have shrank. I don't understand why 3/8 don't fit me. But actually, just this hat spent the first part of today from about 8 o'clock this morning to about 6 o'clock tonight, sitting in my truck in the 100-degree weather. So it has shrunk down a fair amount. It is still a little big for my liking. It's fine like this, but I do want to wear this one forward. I don't know. Some hats I just like, okay, I want to wear this one backwards. I want to wear this one forward. That's just something I do. I'm weird. But yeah, this one spent the day in my car and it's fit pretty good already. Um, that's something I just kind of spray the hat with a little bit of water, stick it in my car, 100-degree heat. It'll shrink down a good amount. Not a good amount, but a noticeable amount. Uh, JB lid liners, that'll make it fit, you think, if it's a little bit big? I know that a while back they reached out to me about, being, test out our product and stuff, and I never got back to them. And with all the hats I have that have white sweatbands now, I kind of wish I did give them a ring or a message back. Makes it a tad snugger. Yeah, I may have to do that because it'll definitely help out a lot of my hats. They seem to have gotten bigger while I was gone. But yeah, like I said, 2 diamond eras. This was from the recent pickup portion of the Nashville collection. Just a black diamond era, same logo, red eyelets this time. This one's actually made in China. I had heard some of these were showing up made in the USA, but it is new stock, new-ish stock, as you can tell by that tag. If anyone wants to know what that means by that tag. Fly Your Own Flag on the bottom means before 2016. No Fly Your Own Flag with no box around this tag means 2016 to present, if you will, present, I guess. And then, I usually stick to Diamond Era, USA made, and then I'll buy Chinese wool every once in a while. But I actually did buy a Chinese polyester hat as part of the sale because of how cheap they were. This has gotten some work done to the crown. This is I don't know what alternate or what they call it. So this is their spinning record alternate, if you will. You can kind of see the spin in there. It does have a little dent right there, which is really weird. But I have done a little work to the crown, pushed the crown, and kind of, if you guys can tell right there, that's from me putting there's a video someone linked before in one of my videos. You kind of heat up the white material in here, and you put it on your head and kind of push back in the crown and push it down. And you kind of work it to make it fit a little better, and that actually does work if you do it a fair amount of times. Not a fair amount of times. This is only once, and it already fits better. I'd say probably 2-3 times it probably fit pretty good. You might have some dents you don't like, but it'll look better than the crazy wideness and boxiness that I find how it looks on my head. But yeah, pretty happy with this one. I do like this logo a lot. When it first came out, I was really upset when I found out it was Chinese made, but glad I could add it for a steal. I think I paid $30 for 3 hats, including shipping. I think they're still doing that sale. It's like 60% off all their hats. There's no like exclusions. All their sale hats are included in that 60% off. But just some smaller things to talk about. The Round Rock Express just rebranded, if you will. They kind of changed up their logos a little bit. They did add a new Astros themed logo because they just switched affiliates from the Rangers to the Astros. The Express are owned by Nolan Ryan. They're named after him, clearly. And now that they're an Astros affiliate, they kind of redesigned their uh, uniforms and hat logos and whatnot. And they actually added an Astros Texas themed logo, but it's not going to be on a hat, unfortunately. All their new hat stuff is still kind of similar to the old hat stuff. But you guys can go check that out. I think their last post was about it. Leon was going to talk about the pillbox. I haven't seen the Royals one yet. John, I think the RR logo is skinny. It looks good, but I think it's too long. It looks too long in my opinion. It takes up too much of the front panel. If it was a little bit shorter, I'd be all over it. That's me trying to save. I think that's me justifying not spending money on it and not going to get it because I do like it in principle compared to the old one. But I think it's just a little bit too long for my liking. Maybe it'll grow on me, but that's just my thoughts on it. Yeah, in person it might be better. Maybe it was the pictures and sometimes the way people wear hats, which people in those pictures didn't look like they knew how to wear a hat or had ever worn a hat before. But I'll definitely take a look at them again and see if they grow on me. The pillbox hat. Lid's coming out with pillbox hats. You guys have probably seen it over social media, especially Instagram, over the past couple of days. Guys have been asking about their favorite teams. Liz Marquis sends them a picture of the teams they asked for, whether it's their favorite team or another two teams or whatever it may be, and they post it and tag him. I'm not a big fan of pillboxes, except for the teams that wore pillboxes, which is the Pirates, and I think the Phillies wore pillboxes. I think that's it. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm a fan of teams that wore pillboxes getting pillboxes, but I'm not going to buy them. I don't wear pillboxes. I don't have any of the ones from the past couple of years that were actually on fields. Yeah, 1976 Mets. The Mets wore them, not the 1976 Mets, the Mets, and then the 1976, and they had them for the All-Star game. I remember Anthony posted about that in Team Fitted. The All-Star game was like completely pillbox hats, if I remember right. The umpire hats are pretty rare. This is kind of just me spitballing off the top of my head. I'm probably misclaiming or misstating facts. But yeah, I don't know. At least they're doing old logos. I saw someone mention that they're not, throwing current logos on pillboxes. That makes sense. That's a good idea. They're just not my territory. Even for the teams that I know wore them, like the Phillies and Pirates, it wouldn't be something I would go pick up. I just don't like the way they look. I'm not against them though. If you're gonna go buy one, more power to you. If you can pull that off, but that's not something I can do. Some of the designs are interesting. The D-Rays one's kind of interesting because obviously they weren't around when they wore pill boxes. Yeah, I know there's a lot of snapback pillboxes not back in the day, but in that time period. So that makes sense for you wanting a fitted one. They're just never something I wanted to wear. I did give them a try on one time because I wanted to see if it was something I could wear. Was a no-go for me. It doesn't matter. I'm pretty sure it wouldn't matter the country of origin on that because I think it was like the Phillies ones from back 2 years ago or a year ago were USA made, and the Pirates ones of all China. It doesn't matter. The pillboxes look pretty funky on my head. I think that's part of the reason why I only like in USA hats because they fit decent to my head. I have a very egg-shaped head. So something that hugs my egg-shaped head makes it look okay. I think that's part of the reason why I'm such a stickler for stuff like that. But yeah, I'm not against it. I don't try to, I usually give lids their fair amount of distasteful feedback. If that makes sense. But they're okay. If you like your favorite teams, obviously you're probably gonna buy it. I haven't even seen the Royals, but it wouldn't matter. Like I said, I can't rock that style of hat. So yeah, I'm interested to see what they look like. I do want to see what it looks like, but like I said, I wouldn't buy it. So we'll see. The Elements just came out. Keeping on the lids topic. I know JB did his top 6 and bottom 6, and he actually picked the Chiefs in his top 6. And I'm a Chiefs fan. Kansas City, everything for me. And I actually didn't like the Chiefs one very much. I like the KC logo, but I did not like the fact they did it in red. Uh, yeah, Jeff, I know. I think you just changed your name or changed accounts because I know you were the professor before. The Hat Club is releasing that one as close as possible to the originals. Obviously, back in the day, they weren't structured. They're more like Ebbets Field flannel hats. Um, but the B logo that New Era uses is actually incorrect. That is actually a Bakersfield Dodgers logo. That is not the Brooklyn Dodgers logo. I mean, we'd have to look it up, but there's actually a distinct difference in the two. Um, that's not on anybody, even Lids, the team, Hat Club. They've all released Brooklyn Dodgers hats. They all have been wrong because New Era refuses to fix the Brooklyn B logo, or the Bakersfield, not Brooklyn, which is actually the Bakersfield logo. Yeah, New Era refuses to acknowledge that it's wrong. I think Ebbetsfield has done a Brooklyn hat and actually done it correctly. But yeah, it's a different logo. You have to look up the two and compare them. It is a nice hat though. I would definitely rock it and think of it as a minor league hat. No, I would just think about it differently. Don't If the logo doesn't matter to you, I'd still go get it for that reason. I mean, people are gonna recognize it as a Brooklyn Dodgers hat. You'll probably still recognize the Brooklyn Dodgers hat. But it's just a different style logo, a little bit, very very different, very small differences, but it's still, you can see the difference. You'd have to look up for yourself and see if you can see it. That's what I would do. I would look up for yourself, see if you can see the difference, and if you can't, go for it. If you can, then I would still go for it, but just buy it as a Bakersfield Dodgers hat. I think that'd be the best advice I could give. I do like Brooklyn Dodger stuff and Dodger stuff to a certain extent, but that's something that's not on my radar. It does look like a nice hat. I know they're dropping some other Western themed stuff tomorrow, hat wise. I think they did drop. Brightest Brooklyn in the Solid Country, yeah, that's what I mean. If you buy it, you bought it as a Brooklyn hat, but then slot it or think of it as a Bakersfield hat, then you're not doing anything wrong per se. If you want to think of it as something that's wrong, you're not miscategorizing it. That's what it is. The funny thing is the lead. I think he's the lead graphic designer for the Dodgers. At RY Design LA on Twitter and Instagram has battled New Era about this, and they will not change their stance on it. They will only put out Brooklyn Dodgers hats with this logo. And I kind of had some short discussions with him back when they actually wore the hat on field. He did everything he could in his power to get it fixed and get the correct logo put on the hat because it's going to be worn on field. They want to accurately portray a Brooklyn Dodger hat, and he said he couldn't get it done. New Era wouldn't listen, and New Era would insisted on putting out the hat as it was. So, what are you going to do if New Era won't listen to this person responsible for uniforming the Dodgers? Then I don't think they're going to listen to anybody. So, I look at this a big... Yeah, exactly. That's kind of what you have to do. There's a couple other hats. I think Low T, TJ Evans, bought a blue White Sox hat from Hat Club, and he actually thinks of it as a Reno Silver Sox hat. I think, JB, you do that too. But hats are open for interpretation. Like, you could think of them as whatever you want. It's just when certain things are claimed and they're not the... Yeah, JB, I think... I think what I'm thinking of is TJ saw you start that, and then TJ went and bought it or wanted it because of that reason, if I remember right. But yeah, hats are open for interpretation. Like I said, everyone's opinion is going to differ on certain stuff. So let's see. Go back to the minor league stuff. Brandios' Logo-vember is what they call it. I think it was. I think it's Logo-vember. I think it's supposed to be November. They're going to be releasing a bunch of new logos for teams that have changed affiliations or are changing logos. Just real quick, AAA shuffling. Fresno is no longer an Astros affiliate. They are now a Nationals affiliate. The 51s, or whatever they become after this season, is now an A's affiliate. The Round Rock Express are now an Astros affiliate. They are not a Rangers affiliate. The Sounds are now a Rangers affiliate, if I remember right, not an A's affiliate. And then the Mets and Nationals still have to find new affiliates. But the Mets own the Syracuse Chiefs, which is the Nationals' old team. So it's kind of obvious that the Mets are going to become whatever, go to Syracuse and rename or keep that name, whatever they're going to do. They're going to go to Syracuse because they own that team itself. The Mets own that team. The Nationals, I don't remember, I think I was talking about this. Oh, the Nationals were going to go to, I'm forgetting one more, obviously, because the Nationals are going to Fresno. I literally just said that. My mistake. So the Mets, there's 5 teams. They all have new homes. The other one is Milwaukee's going to San Antonio. San Antonio's going from AA to AAA. There's a new AA team opening up next year, which I assume the Padres are going to take over. Or not next year, for the next upcoming season. So San Antonio goes up to AAA. This new team in Amarillo, Texas. Amarillo. It's got double L, so I pronounce it rolled like that. Is going to be the AA affiliate. I think the Padres will just take them over, or that would be their team, not take them over. But that remains to be seen. So that's what Round Rock came out with their hats today. So that's at least 6 brand new logo sets if they change. I would assume so. Obviously, we know that the 51s are changing. You don't know if the Grizzlies are going to change. They may not. They might just change a little bit of their colorways or come out with team-specific colorways. Syracuse, I would assume it's changed because they're like a bunch of Nationals colorways right now. Nashville is selling off all their hats, but apparently they always do that, so who knows? Obviously, Amarillo, Texas is going to have new stuff because they're a brand new team. And then San Antonio is going to have brand new stuff because they're going to be... I think they're going to have brand new stuff. I don't know if they could just keep their rebrand. I don't know. Their logo set kind of goes, and colorway kind of goes with the Brewers, so who knows if they'll actually change it, but we'll see. Obviously, Brandios is going to do their logo of November and be dropping a bunch of new hats, new logos, new uniforms, what have you. Just a little tip for anyone else who cares. First runs of hats for these new logos are usually made in the USA because they have to be. Time does not permit them to come over from China, so just keep that in mind when they drop new hats that you may like. You also might have a chance to get a rare hat where it's supposed to be Diamond Air, but it comes USA Poly because they don't have enough time to get it from China. I think that happened in the case of the Rumble Ponies, I think, was one, and the Shuckers was one that I know for sure it happened. There might be some other ones I'm missing. NHL season is upon us. I think there's a week or 2 till opening weekend. And the sad thing is there's no more New Era hats for NHL. The NHL has some great logos. But there is AHL hats. They're minor league. What up, Houston, Texas? There is AHL hats. That's the minor league. They only have one level minor league, so I guess they're minor league teams. AHLs are still allowed to be made by New Era, so keep your eyes out in certain cases. And even though I said NHLs aren't allowed to be made by New Era anymore, the team stores have special exclusions from that. So the arenas themselves can still order New Era hats that are in their logos. So for instance, Golden Knights are still pumping out New Era hats from their team store because they're only ones who are allowed to. Certain other teams are still doing that. The Blackhawks, the Kings. There might be some more I'm missing. I think the Islanders is one. But yeah, arenas are still allowed to order New Era hats from what I hear. Certain ones are. Just gotta touch on that a little bit. But yeah, I think that's it. Going back to the minor league rebranding stuff, keep an eye out for that. Their old stuff is usually on sale. The Helena Brewers have sold off a bunch of their old stuff. The 51s have clearance sales. The Sounds have clearance sales. So, yeah, keep an eye out for that. And tune in tomorrow for the Big Dave Show, the flagship. I don't know what time it'll be at or if he's for sure doing it, but keep your eyes peeled on the channel. And then obviously tune in to our great hosts next week, such as, or Sunday, we have BQ with Fitted Era. Monday, we have the D-Lock, or the Locker Room with D-Lock. We'll see if, I think he's going to be doing a show this week. I don't know. Not sure. Tuesday, that one's up in the air. I don't think JB is going to be doing it next week. I think he's going to be starting that whole monthly, once-a-month thing from now on. Yeah, Round Rock, I talked about that. They released new stuff today. Go check it out. I think it got released about 4 or 5 hours ago. There's still a Ranger colorway, but there is a Astros colored logo. Oh no, you're good. You're good. Just kind of going back and, making sure, I didn't miss anything. Because it happens. Yeah, and Wednesday, Worst Collection Wednesday. I think everyone enjoys Worst Collection Wednesdays. I don't have to tell you to tune into that. I think you guys tune in for yourselves. But thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for watching on demand. If you're on demand, thanks for watching live. For the couple people who were on live tonight. And have a good one. And take care and have a great weekend.